We drove in 5 to 6 hours from the Welcome Center in Torres del Paine National Park to El Calafate, which is the gateway to the Perito Moreno Glacier and the Fitzroy El Chaltén region. We encountered a mixture of paved and unpaved roads. The unpaved roads were manageable in our non-four-wheel drive rental car, but we were always relieved when they ended. We were advised not to take the shortcut due to pretty bad road conditions and took the longer route via Esperanza. The border crossing into Argentina at Cancha Carrera is a bit adventurous, but on the brighter side, we never had a long line to show our passports and to get through customs. The trip in general is a very scenic road trip with lots of wildlife along the road and great views of Lago Argentino. It is a relative short drive from El Calafate to the Perito Moreno Glacier walkways on a good road. We left in the afternoon in an attempt to avoid the crowds, and the higher temperatures in the afternoon are also beneficial to watch the calving of the glacier. Be prepared to take a short bus ride to the walkways, which are really nicely arranged and disperse the crowds efficiently. The drive to El Chaltén from El Calafate is on a good road, and we saw even more wildlife as we approached the Fitzroy region. Also, the lakes along the way are spectacular in size and scenery. After we arrived in El Chaltén, we hiked the Sendero al Fitzroy. You can either do a short hike to the first mirador or a longer hike to the Laguna de los Tres, which is around 21 kilometers. I hiked a little bit more than 21 kilometers because I also had to find my way from the trailhead to our lodge in El Chaltén. The trailhead is easy to find at the outskirts of El Chaltén. The terrain is well marked. You will climb more than 1,000 meters. There were a lot of people when I did it, but the scenery is all worth it. the Fitzroy region right now, actually at Lago de los Tres, the 3 French mountaineers who first climbed Fitzroy. It's a really magical place. I discovered not only one lake that you can see behind me, but also another glacier lake and various glaciers that you can see. And it is a pretty busy place. There are a lot of people here. It's a 12-kilometer hike, 900 meters altitude difference, but absolutely worthwhile. I'm still waiting for Fitzroy to come out. It still has some clouds on top of it, but even if it doesn't come out, I probably will come back because, again, this is a very special place. On our second day in El Chaltén, we did a short 2-hour hike. The Mirador de los Condores hike is a nature trail, and we learned a lot about condors. The trail is well marked, a little hilly, and with great views of El Chaltén, Fitzroy and Lago Viedma. We did the hike on our windiest day in Patagonia, and the trail does not provide a lot of protection from the wind gusts, which reached up to 100 kilometers per hour. The hike to Laguna Torre, or to the Playa de los Icebergs, is another popular hike in the El Chaltén Fitzroy region, although we did not encounter nearly as much people compared to the Sendero Fitzroy. The round trip was 21 kilometers with an altitude gain of 600 meters. The trail is easy to follow along Rio Fitzroy. Unfortunately, Cerro Torre was in clouds, but we saw lots of icebergs and nice rainbows.
We did a wonderful hike to Cerro Torres. It's a really nice trail, very well built. It's what we call Patagonia Flat. It kind of goes up and down for a long ways, and you end up at a lake that is full of icebergs and a glacier at the end. And the river, which you might be able to see behind me, is a huge, raging glacial river that's brown. And we saw rainbows, and in the morning it was very calm, and then the rain is starting to come in a bit, but you can see it's sunny right now, and it was really a wonderful hike to the Cerro Torres.
If you don't want to do the long hike to Laguna Torre, then you can do a shorter hike to the Mirador del Cerro Torre, which is only 8 kilometers round trip. We did this one on our last day in El Chalten as an early morning hike in another ill-fated second attempt to see Cerro Torre, but we got some nice views of Fitzroy and the sunrise. On our way to Chile's lake region, we started in El Chalten in Argentina and drove via Puerto Natales to Punta Arenas and then flew to Villarrica. The drive from El Chalten to Puerto Natales is primarily on good roads, except when you cross the border to Chile at Cancha Carrera. It took us at least 7 hours, and the drive is a very scenic drive with lots of wildlife to watch. The drive from Puerto Natales to Punta Arenas is a relatively short one on good roads. Again, we saw lots of animals from the road and even found a good seafood restaurant at the Fin del Mundo, or the end of the world, in Punta Arenas. In summary, the two highlights of this part of our trip, the Perito Moreno Glacier and the Fitzroy El Chaltén region, did not disappoint. We were glad that we had our rental car for maximum flexibility. The border crossings were a cultural experience, to say the least. We saw lots of wildlife, ironically mostly along the roads. The food was exquisite, and the landscape, glaciers and mountains were truly amazing. In our third part of our trip, we visited the lakes region in Chile with more adventures for us in store.